Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. We have Novak Djokovic versus Alexander Zverev for the quarterfinals of the 2025 Roland Garros tournament. Before you do get into it though, remember to that like button, do subscribe if you're new, and do leave a rating or review if you're listening on a podcast platform. Shout out to our members as well. Okay, let's get into this. So two of the biggest names on the men's side. We've seen this matchup 13 times. Djokovic leads the overall head-to-head 8-5. On clay courts, it's been... we haven't seen them too much on clay, in honesty. Only twice, from what I can see. Djokovic beat Zverev on the clay at Roland Garros in 2019 in straight sets. And then Zverev beat Djokovic in Rome in 2017 in the final. Look, I'm going to be honest. Djokovic has never lost a completed Grand Slam match to Zverev because Zverev beat him, quote-unquote, beat him at the Australian Open this year, but Djokovic had to retire due to injury. They play each other again here, this time not the semi-final stage, but quarter-final stage. This is a big opportunity for Sasha. It is, because Djokovic, despite not dropping a set this tournament, he hasn't had a particularly hard route so far. This is a massive step up from the opponents he's been playing. And in my opinion, if Zverev is playing well, if Zverev is playing near his best, I think against this version of Djokovic, I think he probably wins. But I don't think he's playing near his best, Zverev. So there's a lot to discuss there about how both players' levels are looking. And what does that mean, especially for Zverev? Because I think Djokovic, look, we know what he's about. 24-time Grand Slam champion. He knows how to win. He knows how to find ways to win when he's not playing his best. I'm not sure the same can be said necessarily about Zverev, especially against the top players. In terms of a route to the quarterfinals, or their routes to the quarterfinal stage, Djokovic has beaten McDonald, Mute, Misilic, and Norrie. No sets dropped. Clinical. Zverev has dropped just the one set. Beat Leonard Tien, Jesper de Jong, where he dropped one set. Flavio Caboli and Grigspor, who had to retire after losing the first set. Look, the match is going to be a chess match, in essence. And the big factors to talk about are serve dominance, because Zverev has a very, very big serve, as we know, especially the first serve. It's a massive weapon. If he makes a lot of first serves, then he could make it tricky for Djokovic. Djokovic's return game is arguably the best of all time. On clay, maybe not, but it's still top three, I would say, in terms of return quality. Of all time, that is. The big kick serves from Zverev will cause Djokovic some issues, even though he is more comfortable, I think, taking that kick serve on. I still don't think it's a particularly natural return for him on the backhand wing. In terms of from the baseline, Djokovic, in my opinion, is not going to look to extend the rallies. Not like he would in the past. I think he's going to try and dictate with the forehand. I think Zverev, from what I've seen this tournament, will try to extend the rallies and go hit big targets, high percentage margins, cross court, with high topspin. That's really his game when he is not super confident in how he's striking the ball. He needs to have a big forehand day. He really does. And there's a big difference between Zverev when he is going after his forehand, when he is really hitting through the forehand. He's going line more. He's flattening it out a little bit. That's not to say that he's going to flatten out completely, but there is a big difference between how his forehand looks when he is really backing it, when he's really trying to hit through the court, penetrate through the court. The heaviness of the forehand is different. The speed, the potency, it's all very different compared to when he plays a bit safe and he goes more loopy with topspin cross court, but with not much on the actual shot. That's what I've been seeing a lot of this tournament, which doesn't give me great confidence for this matchup against Djokovic. Because if he was hitting his forehand really well, if he's hitting through it, he was being aggressive with it, he was looking to go line, dictating points with it, I would be thinking, right, great, he's looking good. But I don't think he's necessarily been doing that. In the backhand to backhand exchange, it's always interesting because both players have incredible two-handers. The backhand exchanges, I'm sure, will be quite intense, and I'm sure the slice variation will be thrown in by Djokovic at times. Zverev doesn't really tend to slice too much. If he does, he tends to slice. Zverev on the backhand wing is not going to hurt him off a slice. As long as it's a potent slice from Djokovic, it'll be a rally ball that he gets back. In terms of physicality and endurance, these matches have become marathons at times. They have. I actually think Zverev's physicality and endurance is probably going to be better than Djokovic's, given the age differential. Given that Djokovic, I don't think physically and conditioning-wise is at the same peak that he has been a few years back. If it were to go to 5 sets, Zverev could potentially get the win because he might just physically break down Djokovic. It's a big if, though, because historically Djokovic has always been great in 5-set matches. The other thing to bear in mind here is that Djokovic thrives in Grand Slam pressure. He will go into this, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of people like myself who think Zverev has a good chance of winning this match, and he'll be wanting to prove them wrong, I'm sure. He'll also understand that actually Zverev will see this as a big opportunity to go deep again at this tournament and potentially win it after that final loss in Australia where it seemed to mentally break him for a while. I'm sure Djokovic will be looking to exploit any doubts that Zverev has in his game. And if Zverev plays in a hesitant way, Djokovic will pounce and be clinical, no doubt. I think this could go to 5 sets. Historically, Djokovic has dominated Zverev at Grand Slams. But Zverev's current form on clay, including a title in Geneva, Roland Garros final last year, and of course his powerful serve and powerful baseline game when he is being proactive in his tactics, means he's capable of pushing Djokovic and beating him. A lot of people are going to go for Djokovic in this one. I would like to go for Zverev, but there's a massive question mark around the forehand. And it just hasn't looked great. And I just wonder, it's been 3 matches. Surely if it was going to look great, it would have already. If he was going to go after his forehand, he would have done so already. Because is he then going to start going after it more against Djokovic when it's going to be hard of him to do so effectively straight from the off? Maybe not. So for that reason, and really that reason alone, I'm going to go for Djokovic in 4 sets. If Zverev plays near his best tennis, if he serves well and the forehand, he goes after the forehand, I think he'd win. I just don't. With Zverev, there's always this disconnect between what he's capable of and what he will actually willingly do in matches, in my opinion. I feel like there is a disconnect between his ceiling and... Well, there's a disconnect between his ceiling physically and his ceiling mentally. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comment section below what you think and why. Thanks very much, guys. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.